Today I'm going to show you guys how to do the stacking glitch in Palworld. So let's go. I'm going to show you how to do stacking for a few of these. So I'm going to start off with those beds. And those beds are going to save us a lot of room in our base. What you need to do is, the first things first, you need to build yourself some advanced chests. The bed one only works with advanced chests. And we're going to try and put them on top of each other in a way that they are in line with each other. Usually it's easier to stack them properly if you wait for one to be built before you do the next one. So if you get to this point here where you can't exactly put the chest on top of each other, I'd recommend having double jump boots equipped or triple jump boots equipped if you can afford them. And you unlock the double jump and triple jump boots in the technology tab under ancient technology. If you line it up like this and then you do your double jump, you should be able to get up to the next one, and your pals should be able to build from the ground, so there's no issues there. If they end up being as crooked like this, then there is a better way to do it than using the double jump method, and that is with poles. So what I like to do is I like to get some wooden pillars out, and I like to put it near enough so that they are going to be reachable, but slightly to the left of the products that you're putting down. And it might take you a few goes to get these poles in the right position so that you can start building these guys straight. So we have 6 of our chests done now, and it's time to do the actual beds themselves. As you can see, it's a little bit crooked, but because the beds are round, that shouldn't matter. So once the first bed is created, then you just delete the chest underneath it and you build another bed underneath the first one. Just to reiterate real quick, the gap for beds is 1 chest in between. So for every chest that you remove, you can fit 1 bed. Not all of them are going to have that exact same measurement. That's why I'm reiterating this right now. And we're going to move on, and I'm going to show you the next one. So we're going to do the same thing again, except we're going to do this with one of the mining spots. And I'm actually going to put down quartz, perhaps, because I think quartz is one that I'm actually looking for myself. Now we're going to put down our pillars, and I forgot to mention, just to make this a little bit easier, only do one at a time until you get to the point where you can't build up anymore with your chests, and then go up to the next one, because it's a lot easier to put these chests down when you're on top of the pillar. So we're going to do the same thing again as we did with the beds, but this time it takes 2 gaps for every mine, and you can do this with any of the mines. So I was kind of trying to find the sweet spot here, and it looks like I found the sweet spot in this position, which is a bit weird since it's all the way over to the left. Anyway, as you can see, I moved my pillar over to the left as well. We're going to build this just so I can show you me building it, but I'm probably not going to keep it from in this position all the time because it's a little bit too close to my other pillar. But you build the mining station that you want, and then you remove the 2 of the chests underneath it, and then you can build the next mining station pretty much on top of this chest here. So we're going to move up here, and we're going to get out the pure quartz, and then we're going to build the next one underneath it, and that should line up perfectly. And hopefully it is straight. Then we're going to move 2 more of our chests out of the way. Then we're going to remove 1 pillar, jump on our pillar, and build the next one. And we will have room for 1 more underneath as well. We're going to build our last one at the bottom. And if you want to try and get the bottom one lined up with the above one, the best way to do that is to use pillars. So as you can see here, I have this one lined up with the top one, and then I have one at the back as well. I'm going to leave it for now. Like, look how bad that is. It's horrible. So I'm going to put a pillar here and a pillar here to line that up later. I'm just going to destroy that and fix it later on. So the next thing I'm going to show you how to stack are the wrenches, and this is very, very useful, so listen up carefully. And I already pre-built this because I don't want you to have to watch me build this whole thing, but you start off with 3 walls at the back, 3 high, and you put those onto a foundation, so have it on a foundation. And then you line up the first one of these containers against that wall at the back. as your starting point. As you can see, they're perfectly lined up. The containers I'm talking about are large containers, which take a lot of ingots, so you're probably going to want to be nice and rich for this. And you have to put down a bed of containers, which is 5 across and 2 in depth. So we have 3 high and we have 2 stacks of our little freighters right here. And the reason why this one's not fully finished is if you're having any trouble getting Anubis to finish these crates, best thing to do is to just build a little walkway at the top, and this walkway is going to allow you to just get to that point. So stone roofs, you put those down, they're instant to build, and then just bring it over across to where the container is. And now if you stay on the floor and you point at the container and press E, Anubis will start building. It's a great way to stop Anubis from being a pain in the arse when it comes to this. And I also recommend you could do this little floor here if you want to try and put down the containers easier. What a lot of other people tend to do is they put the containers down on the ground, so they build like a 2 high stack down here, and then they work from there. I prefer this method. We're going to put in our wrench. Now, I tend to find that it works if you just stand on the edge like this, and then you build it, but you might need those containers that I just pointed to a second ago in order to do this. It's one of these things where it's going to be a little bit of moving back and forth to get the right angle, and once you get the right angle, you are able to place that and have it be built. And once again, if Anubis refuses to build that from the ground, which luckily enough, it looks like he is coming up here to actually build it, you can just use the stone floors again. So it depends on whether or not he's actually willing to do this for me. It takes 50 seconds to do it yourself. I'm actually going to bring him in here real quick and see if I can get him to do it. There we go. Sometimes Anubis falls through the floor. If he starts falling through these floors, you can just restart your game and see if it works like that. And if you just can't get him to do it, then as I say, just put down the stone floors and you'll be fine. So now we're going to do the exact same thing again, but we're going to do it in the middle. And what we need to do for that is we need to destroy all of these containers. Hopefully you have plenty of room in your inventory for all the ingots that you're about to pick up, and a lot of carrying capacity as well. And we're going to build another wrench just below the first one, and we're going to try and line it up as best we can so it's straight. It's very hard to get these things straight. So now we're going to remove all of the containers that we have, and we're going to put one last one underneath the 2 that we already have. And then we're done with this bug, or with this stacking glitch. And once again, you kind of have to wiggle it a little bit just to see if it'll fit for you. And you can hold control if you want. And we're just going to place it here. And what this is going to allow you to do is it's going to allow you to have 3 wrenches being done at the same time with all the pals at the bottom of the wrench. And they're going to be collecting things. The Anubises are going to be collecting the items and putting them into storage for you. So you don't really have to worry about it being too busy in here. You can't see what's going on. Anubis will take care of the work. And that is how you stack the wrenches. I'm also going to show you how to stack these plots for food. But I also want to tell you that the 2 or 3 that I haven't shown you today, and the 2 or 3 that you might find useful, you'd have to look them up to see how to do them. My favorite ones are how to stack the breeding farms, which I mentioned, but I haven't actually shown you, so you might want to go look that up. I also recommend looking up how to stack assembly lines. I prefer not to stack them up because I like the way they look when they're next to each other rather than stacked, so I keep those away from being stacked. And you can also get the PAL expedition station floating in the air so that you don't want it on the ground. I prefer that on the ground as well, even though it takes up a lot of space. So those are 2 or 3 that you can stack. And also, when it comes to stacking these things, if you have these chests that I use for pretty much everything, they can be used for a lot of different things. So you can stack a ton of different things in this game. I'm going to show you 2 more real quick, but you can stack loads of the smaller stuff. like the workstations, for example, and I'd recommend you experiment. So the next thing I want to show you real quick is how to do the crop plots. And the hardest part about crop plots is getting them straight, because look at the one in the background, it's so not straight. And they actually look really cool if you get them straight. What you need to do with this one is a wooden bench. So you're going to build wooden benches on top of each other rather than chests. Ironically, if you want to try and get these straighter, one of the best things you could do is actually build a bench to stand on so that you can see what you're doing and to get the right angle. Hopefully I don't have to build another bench. Looks like I might have to. Let's put another one on there. And once this one's built, then we should be able to get this last one in. And if it's straight, I'm going to remove the one over there and keep this as my main one. I'm going to do a lettuce plantation, and now we should be able to get that sweet spot a lot easier. Just as we're about to fall off our benches, there we go. They only have to be one bench wide. Each bench can hold one plant, and you can mix and match if you like. But if you're finding it hard to plant them or put them down, do 2 benches in between, completely up to yourself. Either way, it's going to work. Now, as you can see, I am working with the different pixels here. So we're going to remove that one, and we can place another lettuce plantation in here. Let's see if it's easier if we stand up. Just line it up and jump and spam right click to get that one in there as well. It's not exactly straight, but it'll do for demonstration purposes for now. So the last one I want to show you today is how to put down the oases. And these are very, very useful to have. I recommend one of these per 5 pals that you have. So you're going to need 4 of them if you have a 20 pal. And we did the same thing that we do with the beds, and it's only 1 gap as well. So we go for advanced chests, and we put them on top of each other. Let's keep them out of the way of everything else that we have in our base. And we do 1. And while that one is being built, I'm going to put down some wooden pillars so that we have the wooden pillar ready for the next one. And then we're going to go back and make some more advanced chests. I'm not going to worry too much about it being perfect this time. Not that any of the other ones were perfect anyway, simply because I wanted to show you how to do this and then let you guys go off and do it yourself. So we're going to use our pillars to try and get this oasis into place. It's going to take a little bit of to-ing and fro-ing to get it to turn blue, but once it turns blue, we have the position ready for the other ones. And that's because it needs to find a solid ground to stay on. I'm holding control at the moment, so it looks like control might help with this. Then we are going to do the same thing. We're going to remove one of these advanced chests. It's 1 advanced chest per oasis, and I mean, official name hot spring. I've been calling it oasis this long, I might as well continue calling it oasis. Is there an oasis in the game as well? There's a hot spring. Okay, so it's literally a high quality hot spring. And we're going to hold control and get it right in there. You're not even going to know that it's crooked, honestly. It looks like we're making more than we actually need as well, which is good and bad at the same time. Bad because I don't want to be using up all the materials. But I like my pals to have a nice place to take a bath after a hot day, so that's completely fine by me. Let's get on to this pole and let's see if we can line it up beautifully. And I'm holding control once again here. And there we go. Here's another one. And we'll remove this one and put down another. Hopefully we don't need to use the pillar for this. And you will see in your game that the pals will use these absolutely no problem. They will absolutely love your base. You're going to have no stress whatsoever. Your sanity levels are going to be so high because you gave them so much. I had it in the perfect position there and I ruined it. Oh, I keep ruining it. There we go. Left click. Get ready to remove this one, and then we're going to be done finally with our hot springs, and we're actually going to be done totally with our video as well. So guys, I have shown you how to do beds, hot springs. I've shown you how to do the mining stations, and I've shown you how to do the plantation boxes. I've shown you how to do the ranches as well. And best of luck with this, because this is going to save you a lot of space, particularly the beds and the hot springs, honestly. And the mining. The mining one, if you use the bigger mining stuff, looks super cool. It doesn't look cool like this because it looks a bit empty in the middle, but the big ones look awesome. So I highly recommend doing that. Thank you very much for watching today's video. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know if you have any questions. Best of luck saving a load of space in your base.